Donald Trump is known for shaking things up. His decisions often come as a surprise, and his latest move is no exception. His latest move? Nominating Doug Burgum to lead the Interior Department. This choice has certainly raised eyebrows across the political spectrum. Burgum, the current governor of North Dakota, has a background that's far from typical for this role. Unlike many of his predecessors, Burgum's experience isn't rooted in environmental policy or public lands management. He's a tech entrepreneur turned politician. Before entering politics, Burgum made a name for himself in the tech industry, founding and growing a successful software company. His transition from tech to politics was unexpected, but he has proven to be a capable leader in North Dakota. This unexpected pick has people talking. Political analysts and commentators are buzzing with speculation about what Burgum's nomination could mean for the future of the Interior Department. What does it mean for the environment, for energy policy, for Native American tribes? These are critical questions that many are eager to see answered. Burgum's background in tech and business could bring a fresh perspective to the department, but it also raises concerns about his understanding of the complex issues at play. Let's dive in. This isn't just another political appointment. The Interior Department plays a crucial role in managing the nation's natural resources and cultural heritage. The Interior Department is a big deal. It's responsible for overseeing national parks, public lands, and a variety of other important areas. The decisions made by the department can have far-reaching impacts on the environment, economy, and communities across the country. It's in charge of our national parks, our public lands, and so much more. From protecting endangered species to managing natural resources, the department's work is vital to preserving the nation's natural beauty and resources for future generations. Burgum's nomination is a signal. It shows us where Trump's priorities lie as he prepares for a possible second term. By choosing someone with a strong business background, Trump may be indicating a focus on economic development and innovation within the department. It shows us where Trump's priorities lie as he prepares for a possible second term. This move could be seen as an effort to bring a new approach to the department, one that emphasizes efficiency and modernization. Is Burgum the right person for the job? That's the question everyone's asking. His supporters argue that his innovative mindset and leadership skills make him an excellent choice. Critics, however, worry about his lack of experience in environmental and public lands issues. That's the question everyone's asking. As the confirmation process unfolds, all eyes will be on Burgum to see how he addresses these concerns and outlines his vision for the department's future. The stakes are high, and the outcome will have significant implications for the nation's natural resources and public lands. Doug Burgum's journey to this nomination is an interesting one. He wasn't born into politics. He built a successful career in the tech world first. Burgum grew up in North Dakota. He turned a small software company into a billion-dollar business. That experience taught him about leadership and taking risks. In 2016, Burgum made a big move. He entered the race for governor of North Dakota. He was a political outsider, but he won, surprising many. As governor, he focused on the economy and energy. He championed the state's booming oil industry. Now, he's poised to bring that experience to Washington. The relationship between Trump and Burgum is a bit complicated. They actually ran against each other. Both men sought the Republican nomination for president in 2020. Burgum dropped out early, but he didn't forget Trump's policies. He endorsed Trump after leaving the race. Fast forward to today, and that endorsement seems to have paid off. Trump announced Burgum's nomination at a lavish event at Mar-a-Lago. He praised Burgum's business acumen. He touted Burgum's record on energy. The message was clear. Trump trusts Burgum to carry out his vision. The Interior Department isn't always in the headlines, but it's a major force in American life. It manages a huge amount of land. Think national parks, monuments, and wildlife refuges. It also plays a key role in energy production. The department oversees oil and gas leasing on federal lands, and let's not forget about Native American tribes. The Interior Department has a unique and important responsibility there. It's tasked with upholding the federal government's trust obligations to tribes. That includes protecting tribal sovereignty and resources. Burgum will have a lot on his plate if he's confirmed. Section 5. Environmental concerns. A cloud over the nomination? Burgum's nomination hasn't been met with universal applause. There are concerns, especially from environmental groups. They point to his record in North Dakota. They worry that he'll prioritize energy development over conservation. Some groups have even accused Burgum of being too cozy with the oil and gas industry. These groups are vowing to fight Burgum's confirmation. They're mobilizing their members, they're contacting senators, they're making their voices heard. They argue that Burgum's leadership could be detrimental to the environment. They're urging a closer look at his past actions and future plans. Section 6. Energy's future. Burgum's potential impact. Energy policy is likely to be a major focus of Burgum's tenure, if he's confirmed. Trump has made it clear he wants American energy dominance. That means more drilling, less regulation, and a focus on fossil fuels. Burgum's background in North Dakota, a state with a booming oil industry, suggests he might be on board with this approach. This could have significant implications. It could lead to more drilling on public lands. It could potentially impact sensitive ecosystems. It could also shape the debate over climate change. Burgum's decisions at the Interior Department could have ripple effects throughout the energy sector and beyond. Section 7. Indigenous Affairs. A new chapter at Interior. The Interior Department plays a crucial role in the lives of Native American tribes. It is a federal agency that oversees a vast array of responsibilities, from managing public lands to upholding the rights of indigenous peoples. The department's influence extends to nearly every aspect of tribal life, including education, healthcare, and economic development. It's responsible for upholding treaty rights and managing tribal lands. These treaties, some of which date back centuries, are legally binding agreements that guarantee certain rights and protections to Native American tribes. The management of tribal lands involves not only the preservation of cultural heritage sites, but also the sustainable use of natural resources. Deb Haaland, the current Secretary of the Interior, made history as the first Native American to hold that position. Her appointment was a significant milestone, symbolizing a new era of representation and advocacy for Indigenous communities within the federal government. Haaland's leadership has been marked by a commitment to environmental justice and the protection of sacred lands. Her tenure was seen as a turning point for tribal relations. Under her guidance, the department has taken steps to address long-standing issues such as land restoration, climate change, and the preservation of native languages and cultures. Haaland's efforts have been widely praised by tribal leaders and advocates. Burgum's nomination marks a shift. As a former governor with a background in business and technology, his approach to the role may differ significantly from Haaland's. While some see his experience as an asset, others are concerned about how his policies might impact tribal communities. It's unclear how he'll approach tribal issues. His track record suggests a focus on economic development and energy production, which could bring both opportunities and challenges for Native American tribes. The balance between fostering economic growth and protecting tribal sovereignty will be a critical aspect of his tenure. Some tribal leaders are cautiously optimistic. They hope to work with him on issues like economic development and resource management. These leaders see potential for collaboration on projects that could bring much-needed jobs and infrastructure to their communities. However, they also emphasize the importance of respecting tribal sovereignty and ensuring that development is sustainable and culturally appropriate. They hope to work with him on issues like economic development and resource management. Others are more wary. They fear that an emphasis on energy production, particularly fossil fuels, could lead to environmental degradation and undermine tribal rights. The protection of sacred sites and the preservation of natural resources are paramount concerns for many tribes. They worry that Burgum's focus on energy could come at the expense of tribal sovereignty and environmental protection. The potential for increased oil and gas drilling near tribal lands raises significant concerns about pollution, water quality, and the disruption of ecosystems. As Burgum steps into this pivotal role, the eyes of Native American communities and environmental advocates will be closely watching his actions and policies. Section 8. Reactions and Responses. A Divided Landscape. The reaction to Burgum's nomination has been mixed, to say the least. His nomination has sparked a wide array of opinions and emotions across different sectors of society. From the bustling offices of political analysts to the living rooms of everyday Americans, everyone seems to have something to say about Doug Burgum. Environmental groups are sounding the alarm. They argue that Burgum's track record on environmental issues is less than stellar. Many activists are concerned that his policies could lead to increased exploitation of natural resources, potentially causing irreversible damage to ecosystems. They're urging senators to reject his nomination. These groups are mobilizing their supporters, organizing rallies, and flooding social media with calls to action. They believe that Burgum's appointment could set back years of progress in environmental protection. Energy industry leaders, on the other hand, are expressing cautious optimism. They see Burgum as someone who understands their business. His background in the tech industry and his tenure as governor have given him a unique perspective on the intersection of technology, business, and energy. They see Burgum as someone who understands their business. They believe he could bring innovative solutions to the table, potentially boosting the energy sector and creating jobs. However, they are also aware of the need to balance economic growth with environmental sustainability. Tribal leaders are taking a wait-and-see approach. They have a long history of being affected by federal policies, and they are cautiously optimistic about Burgum's potential to address their unique concerns. They're ready to engage with Burgum, but also prepared to hold him accountable. They are particularly interested in how his policies will impact their lands and resources. They hope for meaningful dialogue and collaboration, but are prepared to stand their ground if necessary. The American public is divided as well. In town halls and public forums across the country, people are debating the merits and drawbacks of Burgum's nomination. Some are hopeful that his business acumen will translate into effective governance. Some see Burgum as a successful businessman who can bring fresh ideas to Washington. They argue that his experience in the private sector could help streamline government operations and foster innovation. Others view him as a threat to our environment and public lands. They worry that his business-friendly policies could prioritize profit over preservation, leading to the degradation of protected areas. One thing is certain: the debate over Doug Burgum and his vision for the Interior Department is just beginning. As the confirmation process unfolds, the nation will be watching closely, eager to see how this divided landscape will shape the future of American policy and governance. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more trending news.